What's up, guys? Recordings in progress. Welcome back. It's D3 Dropouts. It's your boys. It's your favorite D3 Dropouts coming to you live. Well, not so live, but we want to thank you for watching this video.
Thank
Make
you.
sure to subscribe. It's super easy. We appreciate it. Yeah.
Yep. Like and subscribe right there.
All the Jäger in the spot, yeah. You be knowing it's the night, like and I can see the light. Rolling up, I'm getting high, yeah. Baby, sit back, come alive. Come with me, let's roll the dice.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 10 of D3 Dropouts. We're back again. We're not going to leave you guys for another year. Don't worry. We're back this time with real content. Connor was on vacation for a week. So really quickly, I got to ask him, Connor, how are you doing? How was your vacation?
I'm good, man. We took a week off so I could hit the links, get anytime. I went to Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Yeah.
And south. No, it was it's right on the beach on the golf there. It was a golfing trip for me mostly. Had a great time. We got to play 4 rounds of golf in 5 days I was there.
Oh, that's beautiful, dude.
Low 70s and sunny every day. Spent some time out on the beach. It was great. The only thing that wasn't great about it, I will say, most of the golf we played, it's kind of right on the border of Alabama and Florida.
Oh, okay.
So it was like 20 minutes, maybe 25 to Florida, just along the coast there. Like 3 of the 4 rounds we played were in Florida.
Okay.
And I played some of the worst golf known to man. I'm telling
dude, but it was early. It's early rounds right now.
It's early, and like I go to I've been to those simulators they got up in Michigan where we're at, where it's like it's too cold to golf in February.
Oh yeah.
Go to these indoor simulators. I don't know if you've ever done one.
Yeah, Oasis. I've been to Oasis.
No, but like they have like ones where like you're like it's like a giant.
Oh yeah, no, not like that. I've never done something like that. Like X Golf or something like that.
Yeah, like exactly.
Yeah, I've never been there. I wanted to though.
So like I went and I shot like an 80 one time there, and I was like, holy shit, this is the year. Little did I know that you hit a ball on turf and it'll still go a million miles, but you get on grass, and the second you hit a blade of grass before that freaking golf ball, going nowhere. Absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, no, I
so do. The first 2 days I went 104 or 103, and it was basically me just like trying not to chunk a golf ball, and then I was sculling the ball and trying to top it, trying to scull everything, and it was just a weird thing. The last day I finally got it down to, I'm a 17, 18 handicap, so I'm a low to mid 90s golfer. Got it down to 94 on the last day, played well. Had 3 pars in the back 9. It was some golf that I'd like to see myself play moving forward. So we had a baby. Good.
So what's the?
I can go.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I could talk about my golf game forever, man. I'm just ready to get back out there, and then you come to Michigan and it's 30 degrees, and you realize you're not playing for another 6 weeks at the very latest earliest.
Oh, I know, dude. Trust me, I know. I look out the window every day and I get a little more sad that it feels like it just keeps getting farther and farther. It's not getting any closer. But the only question I had was what's the swing lube situation when you get out there, especially in like early rounds? Are you drinking or no?
So I went kind of the group that I was with, we decided one day to kind of get after it. And that day was not very good golf. That was one of the 103s. That was the 103. But even actually the 94, I didn't have anything. So I guess maybe that was kind of the key for me was no swing.
Yeah, no swing lube might be the thing.
But the other times it was just a couple cocktails, like maybe 1 or 2 per 9, just a nice little like keep you loose. Cause I've seen like a lot of the golf stuff I see, like when I like interviews with like pros, they talk about how bad they are if they have any booze in their round.
Yeah.
And it's like for like the average golfer, like
it's got to be totally exemplified.
It kind of works the other way for the first 2 or 3 drinks. It's like, well, you get a little more nervous because it's all about, you're just so stiff when you play when you're a double-digit handicap. At least I am.
Yeah.
So that gets you. I guess gets you a little loose, but like once you get on the other side of that, it's just like it's not good golf. So.
Oh. I Yeah, no, I totally understand. I need to get at least to a range within the next couple weeks and get my swing back before it gets warm enough to go outside and play.
And maybe
But
we become a golf podcast for you guys. Maybe we just start hitting the links and become the next greatest.
do some golf
I could
golf
golf all
content.
day. We're gonna get into some golf later. So
Absolutely. So I guess to start us off, we'll just go with a little bit of recent news. Really not too sporty, more just has some sports mogul. Tom Brady is going to become an actor. He's having a movie made about him. Basically, it is called 80s for Brady. It is basically about a group of all women Patriot fans. They're all the women actresses are very, very famous women, and they're on their way to see Tom Brady basically play in the Super Bowl. Tom plays himself in the movie, obviously. It's supposed to start filming this spring, I believe. And the only other thing that I read about it that I found kind of interesting was that it said it was supposed to kind of mimic the genre of the role in which he acted in Ted. So from what I took at that, it was basically going to be a comedy movie, like a kind of Ted-based comedy movie.
So is he like producing like
No, not he's just
Oh my
acting,
God,
and I
or
think
is he
he's
just
helping
acting?
write. It's like a true story about one of the Patriots wins, but then it's like a side story within that story.
Yeah. It's loosely like
Yes.
historical fiction. It's like
So I really just wanted to get your take. I mean, obviously,
I mean, you got to do something post retirement, and I guess this is it.
well, he has his clothing brand that just came out, and the
Yeah, I know, and he's
TB12.
got TB12. He's got a bunch of brands, but I mean, to something to actually do like with yourself, going to sets every day, I guess is his jam. I mean, we saw what LeBron do it with Looney
Space
Tunes
Jam.
too, or Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes too. That was
Sorry.
good. No,
That shows you how good I thought that movie was. Like I think it's gonna be on level with that, and like it gets some like people's attention just because of the name of it, but is it actually gonna be worth like anyone's time? I don't.
So follow-up question. Are you gonna watch it?
Will I watch it?
Yeah, will you watch it when it comes out?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. All right, that's it. So
Just because I'm in the content game now.
yeah. Content game. You gotta watch it, make some content on it. So rolling into that, talking about another Super Bowl winning quarterback recently dubbed Super Bowl, Matthew Stafford gets absolutely hammered on the 42 at their Super Bowl parade. And he's on stage, very famous video going viral right now. Kelly Stafford standing with him, and then there's a photographer that steps backwards, I guess, and falls off the stage. And it came out recently that she broke her spine and that the Staffords were going to pay for her medical bills. Now, I don't know if you saw, did you see what's happening with basically everyone's pulling up her past tweets and all that stuff?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
I mean, so now she's basically racist.
Yeah.
And so basically Matt Stafford and Kelly Stafford are racist because they're paying for her bills. That's what I got from that. So
I wouldn't go that far.
no, that was a joke. That was just a joke. So no trigger warning. We got to put a trigger warning in now.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, go ahead, Connor. I know we want to talk about this.
No, I mean, what an inconvenient camera shot. I mean, I guess if you're Matthew Stafford, like, dude,
it's legendary though. What he did was so fucking funny.
It's funny, but it's such a bad PR look that like, and I know he's like he's exhausted.
Oh yeah,
and he doesn't even really know what he's doing at that point, in my opinion. And it's not like I hate the people that are like, oh my God, Stafford's a terrible person for this. It's like, A, he's intoxicated. B, like, I don't even know if he knew her, not defending this at all.
Yeah.
And like,
who knows if he was even like, they could have been facing each other. He could not have at all been paying attention to her.
Yeah. And it wasn't like he caused her falling in any way.
Yep.
So like, I give him somewhat of a pass. It's just such a bad look because it's like,
and then what a good guy thing to do to pay for her bills.
yeah.
And then it comes out people are just trying to like.
I think from a PR standpoint, you have to do that because like that's just such an inconvenient look. They get you doing like one of your like, it's not, I wouldn't say inhuman things, but just like a very rude. It's just so rude.
Yeah. Like at first glance of that video, I was like, geez, what an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But as far as I love how this poor lady, she's
Yeah,
the one that
she's getting dragged through the
falls
mud.
off. She falls off the stage, breaks her spine. Now she basically gets canceled because she fell off a stage in front of a quarterback who won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
What a
and offered to pay for her bills. Like it's like as
I was
soon
gonna
as
say, at the
something
very
good.
least, she gets free bills.
Well, yeah, no, I'm sure he's still gonna pay for the bills. What I'm saying is, it's like right when something good happens, she gets her bills paid for. It's like the freaking internet's got to go and rip her down. From what, 2013? She said what?
Yeah.
She said some
She
bad
said
stuff.
some pretty, she said
Yeah.
some pretty bad.
She said some really bad things. I saw a couple pictures of the tweets. She said some really, really bad things.
Yeah.
But again, 2013, back when Twitter was relatively new and free of like people kind of trying to cap speech and cap like certain like thought processes. I think no matter what, it's not a good thing to say. Back then, it was to her, it has no effect on her life now. Like she's not walking around saying those things to people on the street. I guarantee it. She'd be dead.
That you know of.
She'd be dead.
I mean, you just can't. Like, it's inexcusable, no matter what time frame it was, in my opinion.
Agreed.
I agree that it's the inconvenience of the convenience of the internet, and that like everything you say or do now, whether you don't agree with what you said anymore, or whether you said it, in a certain context, it can be pulled out of that context. It can be pulled out of what you meant to say, and be used against you. I mean, like we're on this platform here, we're a young podcast that gets, just a few views from our friends right now. And, say one day down the line, something we say in these early episodes, is wrong and gets us in trouble. And like, it's unfortunate for that, but it is a reality in that.
And when it happens, I'll be right here standing like an iron curtain. Nobody's getting through this podcast. Okay. We're standing strong.
Iron curtain's a tough thing to say right now too.
I'm not saying anything offensive.
Like I said, you just got to be careful what you say. And at the end of the day, you can't say things like that. They're inexcusable. They're not okay. They're not something that are okay or has ever been okay. I agree. It's unfortunate for her. It's a series of unfortunate events for that poor lady.
Yeah, but this would never have been a thing if she never got her bills paid for.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it all comes out in the wash, right? Like you say those things on the internet, you're going to have to reap the consequences for them at some point.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Those things on the internet, it's as simple as that. It's terrible. We don't appreciate that behavior, nor do we condone it.
So. Yeah, definitely do not condone it. So I guess with that, we'll move on to something. I guess it's not as light, but it's a little better. College basketball. Yeah. It's getting close to March, dude. It's happening. It
is, man. Go
ahead.
Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I was saying that we are basically like a week and a half away from like getting down to business, like where it's going to be crunch time.
Yeah.
I
mean, I can.
Dude, we're glitching like a motherfucker right now. Because when you start talking, I stop, and then when I start, you stop.
No, folks, that's not a glitch. That's just us not knowing how to talk over Zoom.
So one of the things I guess I wanted to bring up to you was Saturday came around, and 7 out of the top 10 teams lost on Saturday. We got a little bit of madness in the end of February. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they should call it end of February madness. 1 through 6 go down, 7 out of the top 10. I mean, you were going to get into the one that we really care about the most. That's most near and dear to our hearts. But it's kind of a testament to college basketball, and that what makes the product of college basketball so great in a lot of people's minds is basically the core product of it. Is basically that, like, these are kids and they get cold on certain nights, and they don't forget how to play defense on certain nights. And really it's just, it turns into no one is really that good, because it's It's just
And you're
college
also
basketball
never
and the
sure
product
who's
of
going to win. It's like
50 and 60 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody can get hot. It's the fact that some kid, Steph Curry, like the kid from Oral Roberts last year, like can go on a run at any point because the product is just so like sporadic, I guess, is what makes college basketball so special. We saw on Saturday. So
yeah, no, I agree. So I guess, did you have something you wanted to talk about with one of those games real quick?
not really. I mean, we'll get into MSU in a bit. We'll go over the last 2 weeks and kind of moving forward here in their last week, this upcoming week, starting tomorrow or today.
Okay.
When you're listening to this.
So then I guess the last basketball thing we would do I guess Michigan. We can touch on Michigan, the whole situation with Michigan.
Yeah.
Dude, what is going on?
Yeah, it's been over a week now. So, and unfortunately, we couldn't get the podcast out last week with me on vacation. But one of the all-time lows in Michigan sports, I think, obviously with the doctor stuff recently. And,
for sure.
Sean Beckler stuff. It's just another, bad look and I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here. I've unfollowed people that we follow on the D3 Sports Dropout account, D3 Dropout Sports account.
Yep.
I've unfollowed multiple people, Michigan fans, that defend Juwan Howard and complain about how Michigan got too many suspensions. Not a Wisconsin player only one Wisconsin player got suspended. Their coach got suspended. Dude, at the end of the day, yes, I think Wisconsin should have been reprimanded a little more than they were. But you can't have the cornerstone of your organization, the plaque of your organization, touching other people on the court in an aggressive manner like that. It's unacceptable. No one wants it. No one wants to see it. And to excuse that behavior is something that a university that hands themselves so highly regarded, they regard themselves so highly, to accept and make excuses for that kind of behavior is unbelievable for me, and it just adds to my frustration with the Michigan State stuff. I mean, obviously, I come from a biased view as a Michigan State grad. But
Connor, I'm gonna stop you. You're cutting in and out like a motherfucker, and I literally can barely hear what you're saying. I can hear like words. I could hear disgrace, like something like that. So start over again. Try talking now. No, I heard like the basis of it. There was just words were cutting in and out.
Yeah, I know I was in a zone though. I just got to get back in that zone.
Well, here's what I would say real quick. I think it's a classless, just a low, like you're a sore loser if you can't fucking shake hands after a basketball game. Like it's fucking college basketball. In the end of the day, it's college basketball. Okay. He's making however much he's making, $5 million or whatever. To shake the fucking hands, dude. Come on.
How about you just don't touch another coach? Like, I mean, what I was saying before, as I cut out, is I've unfollowed people on our Twitter account. This is my biggest problem with it, aside from the fact it's one of the worst looks on a basketball court ever. With Michigan fans, I've unfollowed who are defending his actions. They're saying how, now I do agree to a certain extent. I think Wisconsin was not reprimanded, maybe as much as they should have been. I would listen to that argument. I would agree that, they did play some instigatory roles in this situation.
Yeah, but what happened. Right? Like the high ups made that decision.
Yeah, exactly. But to defend Juwan Howard for touching another person on the court, the coach, the mogul of your team, your great university, your great program that's somehow better than Michigan State's program now, the cornerstone of your organization, is assaulting people on the court on live television. What is there to defend about that? You hold yourself to one of the highest standards of any school in the country, and you're going to make excuses for that behavior? No, there is no excuse for that behavior. I understand it's a heat of the moment. Sports are hot. I'm a hot guy. Literally. Wow.
Dude, that was
you know what I'm saying.
No, I get it.
It's so annoying that the is for it. And I really do think Wisconsin should have been held more accountable for their role in this, because there is, at the end of the day, they played a role in it as well. But I just can't stand take the punishment and move on.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that Yeah, no, I mean, and they won. They won their first game back without him. Tomorrow they're gonna lose, or today, I
Yeah.
guess, when this comes out, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose to State, but
They
I
lost on Sunday too.
yeah, they lost. So they're 1-1 right now. It's like, do they really think they would have been that much different without Juwan Howard?
No, I don't. But it's
yes
just a
or no.
bad look to miss.
I
They're
agree.
a fringe team to make the anyways.
So another question really quickly touching on that topic again, that I had seen going across Twitter, and I kind of had chimed in a little bit with one of the Michigan fans, got a little violent actually, but we were very violent actually, but I saw a question that was saying basically, do you think that the punishment was too severe, not severe enough, just right, or like what? Like, do you think maybe it should have been all season, including the tournament?
I think it was just right.
Okay, that's what I think too. But I saw people that were going. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it's fireable. I don't think it's a one game thing. If you included the tournament, I don't think that's that unreasonable. I think that's a little too much, but not that unreasonable.
I bet you he'd never do that shit again, though.
No. I mean, you can. Like you can't do that again. I think if he does that again, you have to fire him. But
yep.
That's such a one-off. Hopefully.
Yeah. So do you put a leash on him now? If you're like an AD at Michigan or something like that, do you put a leash on him and say like, you one verbal altercation, you're gone, or what do you do here?
No, I mean, if you're saying, are they going to rein him in a bit as far as like,
no, just
like how fiery,
exactly, like what they're letting him do.
Because it's where do you draw that line? Is that with other teams? Is that with officials? Is that with his own players? Because like Tom Izzo is always in the media for being very aggressive, might not be the right term, but very strong with his players. I'll use that phrase. Players, let alone it. But I don't know if there's. I can't. Like I don't really know. It's too vague of a thing where it's just basically stay out of headlines. I think just do your job. I do think he's going to do good things at Michigan overall. I think he's a good coach actually, despite this year being somewhat of a disappointment, real disappointment actually. But I think it's just go out there and do your job, and if you do your job, then these things don't happen. So
yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And so I guess with that, we have two things left. We can talk about MSU. We can let you get at the MSU fans and the basketball team a little bit, or we could do Daddy Donkey.
Let's do Daddy Donkey, and we can end on
a little rant.
Some MSU the big game tomorrow.
I agree.
Today.
So I guess starting it off, my daddy of the week is not a human. I have no human MVP. Nobody that I think in my eyes deserves recognition, at least as of right now. But that's not to say that I don't have a daddy. I have a daddy, trust me. Hank the Tank, 500-pound brown grizzly bear in Tahoe, Utah, I believe, right? Wherever
I have no idea.
Yeah, Tahoe, Utah is robbing is like the nice way of putting it. Robbing houses basically in the middle of the night, ransacking them. 12 houses he has on his list right now.
We know it's the same bear.
It is the same bear. DNA testing has proved it's the same bear. And this guy is he's like a mastermind. He's like an actual, like he might be a human.
So, do you know how, do you think how you see on billboards, those ones that flip and change?
Yeah.
You think you'll see, and you see most wanted, I saw one the other day, this person's wanted for murder, basically.
Oh yeah. I wonder.
Do you think they'll put one for missing 500-pound grizzly bear?
I wonder if he's wanted. That's a good question because when I read the article, Hank the Tank, this guy was trending on Twitter for a while. And
bear.
Dude, Hank the Tank 500-pound black bear. Holy shit, is actually 3 500-pound black bears. Breaking news as of 1 day ago. Hank
So
the
it's
Tank,
organized crime.
the South Lake Tahoe's 500-pound black bear is actually 3 menace black bears. Dude, that's nuts. So
Do you
that's
think
my
there's
daddy.
any way? Do you think that there's any way they're like colluding to do that? Any way? You think they're smart enough?
Dude, I just feel like bears, there's so many animals that I could see maybe like doing this, and it would make sense to me. Like, okay, they kind of have like a human functioning brain. I mean, bear would be so far down that list. I really don't. But I also just read it. It's 30. They've had 30 homes in the past month.
Like,
So
is this the same neighborhood? Is this like all the?
so South Lake Tahoe is massive. Lake Tahoe is
Yes.
huge. So imagine like probably combined. I was probably a bunch of neighborhoods around the lake or something, and they're just rummaging, dude. I mean, 30 homes in a month is a fucking lot.
It is a lot, and like, I don't know. I do agree that I think there's no way that it's like or like they
How do you
don't.
not catch a 500-pound bear though, dude? Like you can't miss it. It's fucking
Well,
huge.
it's tricky because like I have no idea what the laws
The-
there are in terms of like shooting it
Yeah.
or like killing it. Like
Oh, I
there,
guess. Yeah.
I think there's definitely laws against that. So it's really tricky in that like you can't. I'm sure you can't just shoot it just for being there.
So they've never hurt anyone. It says.
And to be honest, who wants to get that close?
I guess but dude, if they haven't hurt anyone in 30 homes, they must really not be trying to hurt people. They are really fucking there for the food.
Yeah, they must be smelling that bacon.
So
See-
now my question that I've been thinking about all week, and it's a conspiracy one, and then we'll wrap it up and we'll hit it MSU basketball. Do you think that it is possible that these are very, very, very realistic, carved out humans inside of the bears?
No.
And these are like humans that are just ransacking homes and using the bear as like a
Nope.
no, not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that crossed my mind a couple times. I was thinking maybe if you like think about if you killed a 500-pound bear and then like brought it to like a taxidermy person and they put it all in, and then you just like walked around in the suit and pretended you were a bear. No one would harm you.
Yeah, but it would be more convenient to just rob houses like
No, because people aren't going to call the fucking police on a bear. What are you going to say, dude? The bear went east on Haggerty? Like, what are you going to say?
I mean, but like a bear, like a person is like quiet would be like just on foot would be quieter, would be more agile, would be probably faster. Like, I just think it'd be way more convenient to do it like yourself.
We can agree to disagree. I'd probably go with the bear. I'm gonna be honest. Just think about if you really like. Yeah, you know what? No, we're not even gonna get into it. We're gonna wrap it up. Let's hit the MSU hoops talk.
Do you want to do my daddy or?
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Hit your daddy.
We didn't do donkeys either.
Oh god, dude, this is gonna be a long one then.
This guy is the best host in America. Let me tell you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
My daddy is MSU basketball fans. Not only because we are some of them, but we beat a top 5 team, and we don't rush the court. We're not one of those programs that needs to rush the court when we beat a top 5 team. Looking at the team in Ann Arbor that I've already been in on this week or on this episode,
We about to hit them twice.
Base and an organization that has been there before, and we will continue to do that because we are blue bloods, believe it or not. And they proved that not only in the win, but how our fans reacted. So I love you guys.
Yeah, no, that's actually a great pick, and I agree with you. I saw the tweet from the D3 Dropouts account saying like, that that you agree with the fans not rushing the court and everything like that, and I agree too. By the way, unfortunately, I wasn't at that game. Probably would have been the only person that rushed. That would have been embarrassing. But no, I loved the win. I'm glad we got a win against the top 5 team. I'm glad that we celebrated like a blue blood. I'm not glad that before that we were in some of the worst stretch of Spartan basketball that we had been watching.
Yeah, let's just not even do donkeys. We're on that trail right now.
Yeah, dude. I mean, my donkey was Juwan Howard, but Michigan State basketball pre-Purdue win could be just as much a donkey.
Yeah. I mean, my donkey was top 10 basketball teams last Saturday.
That's great. Yeah, which we already touched on.
Yeah, we already touched on.
Yeah.
So
they basically went from like a team who I thought was at the beginning of the season, even towards like when they're coming towards the middle of the season, I was thinking they would be somewhere towards a 4, 5, 6 seed, maybe. Now they're like a borderline bubble team, I believe.
Well, okay.
Not skill wise. I'm talking about in the eyes of the public. Dude, somebody just put out a bracket thing. Michigan State wasn't even fucking on there.
Yeah. So I think I was kind of going to go game by game. So since we've last talked, lost to Penn State, lost to Illinois, blowout loss to Iowa, and then the Purdue win. Those are the games we've missed. They've lost 6 of their last 8. And you're right. Outside of the Purdue win, it's been ugly. I said they were a 5 or a 6 seed, and you were like, nope, they're a top 15 team.
I think that was back. Come on, are we really
going to They were ranked 14th when we talked 2 weeks ago, and you talked like they were going to be a 1 seed. So
Brother, they were 10 at one point this season. Remember?
Yeah. So
statistically, if they stayed 10 the whole season, bro, they would have been way better than a 4.
Yeah, but I told you the team wasn't the team, and they proved it since.
And you know what? You're right. You proved me wrong. I was wrong.
So, like I said, I mean, they've struggled. They were before Saturday. They were a bubble team. I think with Saturday's win, there's 100% chance they're in. They could lose out and still get in. I think anywhere that could be anywhere from if they go 3-0 this week. And, obviously 3 tough games with Maryland beating Ohio State yesterday.
Yep.
And then they do something in the Big Ten tournament. I think they're maybe a 5 seed.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. But I could see them.
They could go 0-4 in their last couple games and be like a 9. Realistically, they'll probably go like 1-2 this week, win 1 game in the Big Ten tournament and be like a 7.
Dude, you don't have much faith, do you?
No, I don't. Like this team, I mean, outside of the Purdue win where, I mean, I can talk about some of the things, but like Gabe Brown shot better in the Purdue game, and like both the point guards played great in the Purdue game, but like the point guard play has been very mediocre. Gabe Brown's our best player.
You even said it yourself earlier this podcast. People can be up and down on any certain night. So that's what makes college basketball so exciting.
Yeah, but Gabe Brown was down for a full month before that Purdue game.
All right, so we had a little bit of a freaking bump, whatever. He
had the shooting yips.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like we shouldn't be punished for that or whatever, but what I'm saying is you got to have a little bit more faith, brother.
Yeah, no, and I think we saw things in the Purdue game, the flashes that we needed to see for this team to have any kind of tournament run. Walker and Hoggard were good. In the Illinois game the week before, Walker had like 26 or something like that, and they came back in the second half and ended up still losing.
Yep.
But he was a scorer at Northeastern, man. He was known for being a shooter and a good scorer. Yeah. I don't know if it's like the intimidating nature that is Tom Izzo. Like he's a tough coach to play for, obviously, but like he looked timid the first 2.5 months of the season to shoot, take his shot, looked to pass, was not much of an actual scorer for us. Since that 26-point game, he's looked better. He looked for his shots. He's looking for his shots more. He made the game-winning 3 against Purdue. Like that's a guy that's looking for a shot now. If down the wire, he's willing to go step back 3 against the top 5 team in the country.
Yeah.
Hoggard was really good in that game. I think since he started, and that's allowed Walker to kind of come off the bench and do his thing as a scorer. And they even played him a little bit in the first half. They played them together, which I think that's great when they go small because they do complement each other a little bit. And that Walker can shoot the rock, and Hoggard's kind of more of a take it to the hoop strong guard.
Yeah.
But like with this, my only problem is like we don't have any elite scorers. Like Malik Hall showed flashes in our losing streak of like being our guy down the stretch when no one else is there. But like if Gabe Brown can like shooting woes continue, and Max Christie's been like literally like he looks like he could be a lottery pick one day, and he looks like he's going to be a 4-year guy the next day. Like, I can't get a read on him. But if
Dude,
neither of
Max
those two are making
Christie's,
down the stretch.
I think Max Christie's a little overrated. I don't want to get too much into this because I do go to school with these kids, but
I think he's super overrated. Dude, they still have him as like a top 15 pick. The guy hasn't scored more than 10 points, and like he's done that like 2 of his last 10 games.
now what do you think of Bingham?
See, Bingham is an interesting case. You want to go into the big guys, is I think he's our most talented big guy by far.
I agree.
And he shows flashes down the stretch. You need him because he's our biggest player. He's got the most moves down there. He can shoot. Like none of the other big guys. I mean, Hauser can shoot, but he's kind of a smaller big guy. His problem sometimes to me and why he doesn't see maybe big minutes, I don't think like they talked about, he kind of got the long form COVID and that like he had trouble getting back conditioning wise when he got it around the holidays.
Yep.
I don't know if that's still the case months later, is that if maybe he's a little under conditioned and why he can't do that. But like,
Yeah, he could be.
He doesn't have that edge. He doesn't play like aggressive for a big guy. Like he doesn't play, I don't want to say he doesn't play hard because he does and I love him, but like, he doesn't have that. Like Julius Marble is not nearly as talented as Bingham, but they play the same minutes and are producing the same because
Marble
of his body plays with that chip on it. Yeah.
He plays that body type.
Yeah. He's more filled out. Bingham's long, lanky guy. Like,
exactly.
I think Bingham's a much talented player, but doesn't necessarily play with the chip that Marble does on his shoulder sometimes, and we've seen that a lot over the losing woes.
Yeah, God, if we could just maybe if Izzo could fucking get a chip on Bingham's shoulder, dude. I mean, we could see a whole nother fucking level of player.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of this team is the classic like. I don't think Gabe Brown or Christie are like way more physical enough. Like Gabe Brown kind of, when he doesn't have the ball, he's kind of like, he's not a good offensive player without the ball. It may sound like counterintuitive. Like, how are you a good offensive player?
No, I know what you mean. He's a smart player. He gets things open. He makes opportunities happen. I get what you mean.
Like he doesn't really create a ton of shots for himself. Like he does, like, it's kind of all catch and shoot or something off a rebound. Like he doesn't really create a ton for himself, at least recently that he has. So that's my biggest gripe is the team just doesn't play hard enough sometimes is what it feels like. And it's not hard, they're not trying. It's that they're just not like, it's not that grit from a Michigan State team that you've seen so often.
Yep. No, I totally understand, dude. I totally get where you're coming from. Yeah, no, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. We'll see next week on the podcast. Obviously, we'll be able to talk about the 3 games we played within this span, but hopefully we go 3-0. I'm predicting a 2-1.
So, yeah, I said I'd like to see us go 2-1 out of this.
Yep, me too.
We play obviously Michigan at Michigan tomorrow. That's the big one. I'd like to see go green, baby.
Go white.
Get us going. I think we'll win the game. I think Michigan, it's hard to say. They had the win against Rutgers, but like, it's hard to say like they're the same team. Like it's clearly something is going to be different when you lose your head coach for an extended period of time.
We'll see.
So I'd like to see them beat them at their place. I'd love to see us go sweep with Michigan. We haven't done it often in the last couple of years. It'd just be nice to go 3-0 in the big sports against the school that calls us little brothers. So
yeah, no, I agree. It would be awesome. So I guess on that note, within the next week, we'll have some new content coming out for you guys. Hopefully it'll get warmer so we can start doing other content rather than just talking to you guys. I had a pick. If you have one pick you want to make at the very end of this is the end. So my pick is the
my mortal lock.
Go ahead.
Are you gonna go first?
Yeah, because mine's fucking shitter.
Okay. So my mortal lock is Michigan State money line tomorrow because I didn't do a ton of research and I can't see us losing to Michigan, nor do I even want to dream about it. So that's my pick.
That's a good one. My pick is going to be the Kings straight up against the Bruins tonight. They're on a 5-game win streak. I don't know if you know that, but they're also trying to clinch.
Good.
They're trying to clinch a playoff berth. So if they can get on a little win streak here towards the end, it could end up helping them clinch. So I'm going with that, just straight up over the Bruins. That's tonight, I think. Yeah, that's tonight. It might be on right now. So I'm probably going to turn that on after this.
I like it. Kings are kind of a surprise team this year.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people have them anywhere near the playoffs, and yet here they are in the race. So.
And gosh, dude, I almost took Bruins as like an upset, but like really, I think the Bruins are. It's not even like an upset. Like it really could go either way, I think.
Yeah, I mean the Bruins are probably the better team, but I mean you said it was at LA.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean you gotta like LA at LA. I've kind of turned off the hockey because we talk more about basketball on this podcast, but I know Marchand, I think, is still suspended. You got a five-game suspension maybe like 2 weeks ago, so I'm not sure if they played 5 games since then.
Yeah, it could be the end, or he could be.
But if not, you get him off. He hasn't played in a while, so maybe I like the pick though. I respect it.
All right. Well, I guess without further ado, that's it, right, brother?
Oh, you right, brother.
All right, peace.
Baby working for the table, throwing these blue hundreds while you dancing for the label. Yeah, and you know that I'm unstable, but you know I love you and I'm loving all your angles.